Hello, welcome to Quickie with Nuclear. Now, earlier this week, the women in energy, oil, and gas had their summit, yes, titled Decarbonization. Yes, the summit is an annual one, but this year they decided to speak on decarbonizing our airspace. And there are experts from all fields profiling solutions to decarbonize the Nigerian airspace and the world in general. Now, this expert cuts across so many areas, including my darling, nuclear. Yeah, nuclear found a space to be on the stage to proffer solution. We had experts from the Nigerian Atomic Energy Commission, experts from the Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority. Yes, these two agencies, and of course, one of the foremost non-governmental organizations pushing for peaceful application of nuclear. Nuclear War Africa was also at the summit. Hello, everyone. My name is Rukwindi Kefas from the Nigerian Atomic Energy Commission, the focal agency saddled with the responsibility to implement nuclear for peaceful purposes and for socio-economic development in Nigeria. Yes, decarbonization, simply put, is the process of reducing or eliminating carbon dioxide, CO2, emission from our atmosphere. Emissions from cars, emissions from factories, emissions from industries, emissions from trucks, and as small as keke, and then of course emissions from firewood used by that woman in the village somewhere there. Now, decarbonization summit, its aim is to reduce the CO2 so that we'll have a climate that will not suffer and it will get back to us. Now, nuclear is one of the solution that is, very good to talk about nuclear and sustainability. Now, nuclear, you may ask, how does nuclear works with decarbonization? Now, nuclear generates electricity through a process called fission, that is splitting of atoms, which produces no CO2, no carbon dioxide emission. Yes, no CO2. Mark that. That is zero emission. That's what nuclear does at the point of generating electricity. Now, nuclear is not competing with renewables. Yes, renewables like solar, like wind, no. But nuclear has very big edge, which is it provides constant base load of power. Now, you may ask, what is constant base load? Simply put, steady supply of electricity regardless to the national grid. Yes, nuclear can reliably fill the gaps where renewables like solar and wind dips due to lack of sunlight, of lack of wind flow. Nuclear doesn't need sunlight. Nuclear doesn't need wind flow to keep operating for minimum of 60 years. Minimum of 60. In fact, technology in the field of nuclear are beginning to have nuclear power plants that can work for up to 100 years. So nuclear is the answer for decarbonization, for clean electricity, for clean energy, and for sustainable living. Support nuclear science, support nuclear technology, support nuclear innovation, and most importantly, support the Nigerian Atomic Energy Commission to implement all peaceful aspects of nuclear and atomic energy for socio-economic development. Thank you for watching.